I hope you're having a great Sunday evening, and we've got this from Teslarati. While initial reports on FSD version 12.5's hardware 3 release still suggested that the software was being rolled out to employees, the latest posts on social media suggest that regular customers are now getting 12.5.1.5. Among those prominent comments from HW3 vehicle owners was that the new version definitely feels smoother than previous iterations of the advanced driver assist system. The build reportedly also feels quicker and more confident in making decisions. This is quite evident in the freeway, as the highway stack has reportedly become more decisive with the update. That being said, some owners also mentioned that the auto speed is a bit too slow in the hardware 3 vehicles. Longtime FSD tester AIDRIVR. If you don't watch his stuff, you should. Aid Driver without the E, who used a hardware 3 Tesla Model S with no interior camera, observed that the new update tends to take natural paths through turns. He also noticed that it has a very good lane positioning. It has best acceleration and braking compared to any version that he's ever used. He says that it's a solid release. It does present some concerns about how fast older Teslas would be receiving the latest updates, but we talked about that on this channel, and I don't think there's anything at all to worry about. Well, switching not really to politics for a minute, but really just kind of a fun thing about Elon and Donald Trump. This is from CNBC. Former President Donald Trump said that Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk likely that SpaceX CEO Elon Musk could not likely serve in the hypothetical White House cabinet because of his demanding schedule of running his various companies. And I'm thinking, that'd just be like 50 minutes a day. Trump says he wants to be involved. Now, look, he's running big businesses and all that, so he can't really. I don't think he could be in the cabinet, Trump said of Musk. And this excerpt was published on Sunday with a interview with former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan. Trump says, I'd put him in the cabinet, absolutely, but I don't know how I could do that with all the things he's got going. Trump's comment gave him a potential exit ramp from his newly formed alliance with Musk if he wins the November election. He can sort of, as expressions go, consult with the country and give you some very good ideas, Trump said. He used artificial intelligence as an example of where Musk could help. As recently as 2 years ago, Trump and Musk were in an open feud, but they become allies in this election as Musk wades further into right-wing politics. Prior to that, Musk publicly endorsed Trump last month, but prior to that, Musk helped form a pro-Trump super political action committee in May. Meanwhile, Trump has revived his presence on the X platform after a year-long hiatus. Both men have floated the idea of governing together if the former president wins. I think it would be great to just have a government efficiency commission, Musk said. This is, by the way, is the famous government efficiency commission. He later gave it a name which spelled, of course, DOGE. The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Anyway, he says, I'd be happy to help out on such a commission. Elon said he has a great relationship with Trump. He said, he's great. And then Trump told Ryan, he's a totally unusual character, but he's a brilliant guy. Then this is from Al Root in Barron's today. Robotaxis are closer than some investors might expect. Tesla has big robotaxi plans, but it will have some very tough competition. Okay. But that's okay for one analyst. He says there's room for everybody, and I agree with that. Thursday evening, last week, General Motors self-driving taxi company Cruise and Uber announced a multi-year strategic partnership to bring Cruise autonomous vehicles to the Uber platform. Riders can hail self-driving Cruise vehicles in certain jurisdictions as soon as 2025. Wow. The agreement answers one question investors had about Uber and autonomous vehicles. In recent months, Uber CEO Dara opaquely discussed this company's self-driving strategy. We're in late-stage discussions with additional global AV players, automated vehicles, AV players to join our platform, and we'll have more announcements in the coming weeks and months. he said in early August. Now investors know that one of those is Cruise. It affirms our contention that Tesla, this is according to the RBC analyst Tom Narayan, you know him. It affirms our contention that Tesla will probably be one of the robotaxi players among others in the US. Narayan goes on to say that Uber will be able to benefit from self-driving technology by integrating it into its large service network. It also affirms GM's commitment to autonomy, says Narayan. He also rates Tesla stock a buy, has a 224 price target. He sees Tesla offering its own network of robotaxis and eventually capturing 20% of the ride-hailing market. If they capture 20% of the ride-hailing market worldwide, that'll be enough. He says that by capturing 20%, of course, that leaves lots of room for others. Uber and Cruise will take some robotaxi market share, maybe. So will Alphabet's Waymo. It's already got 100,000 autonomous rides a week. We know that. More robotaxi news is coming. Tesla hosts a robotaxi event. We know that. Tesla has, of course, worked at the highest level self-driving software called full self-driving, also known. Okay, prior language. Okay, it says a language change. This is something that came up last week. I didn't fully understand it, so I didn't report on it. Tesla's vehicle ordering page now has an FSD blurb that reads, quote, currently enabled features require active driver supervision and do not make the vehicle autonomous. The activation and use of these features are dependent on deployment and regulatory approval, which may take longer in some jurisdictions. Prior language referenced FSD continuous improvement, and the activation and use of these features are dependent on achieving reliability far in excess of human drivers, as demonstrated by billions of miles of experience, as well as regulatory approval. So it took out all the millions of miles of that. Yeah, all right. So coming into Monday, okay, coming into Monday's trading, it says Tesla stock was down about 11% this year, in case you didn't know that. Sawyer Merritt is reporting just before I came on air. Tesla Vision Park Assist has launched for the Cybertruck. Tesla Vision Park Assist now displays a high-fidelity 3D representation of the world all around your vehicle, including the proximity and shape of nearby objects, barriers, vehicles, and painted road markings. So I'll be interested to talk to Larry tomorrow night and see if he got his Cybertruck parking update. All right, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. If you haven't done it yet, like, subscribe, and notify, because tomorrow, of course, we have the normal stuff. After the bell in the morning, Brian White at noon, and Larry at night, all the regular stuff. So I'll look forward to seeing you 3 times tomorrow. All right, so maybe you'd be interested to know that among other things happening this week would be NVIDIA's earnings. And most folks are expecting a beat. And I'm curious, how does this work? If you've got an estimate from the street and then everybody's expecting a beat, do you have to beat the beat in order to beat? Anyway, the stock's been trading near all-time highs last reached in July. And I'm certainly thinking, without knowing anything other than probably what you know, that they'll probably be trading at new all-time highs later this week. All right. What is happening with the markets this upcoming week? Lots of very interesting things. So the first of those is on Monday morning early. We've got durable goods orders coming in. That was down 6.7% last month. This month is expected to be up 4%. Durable goods orders up 4% in this auto market. Okay, this must be some kind of a bounce back that they're expecting from the car problem from the previous month with the technical outages. 4%, that would be huge. Anyway, durable goods minus transportation, no guess. Last month it was up 0.5% and they got no guess. So anyway, we'll find out what happens. I would expect durable goods to be not doing well at all. Now, maybe there's some kind of a uptick because of that. Some of the cars might have gotten delivered in July that should have been delivered in June. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen. Okay, we also have San Francisco Fed President Daly speaking on Monday afternoon. On Tuesday, we have the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Last month, that was up 6.8% year over year. No guess this month. Consumer confidence comes out that morning as well. We'll be able to catch that just in time for the show. Last month, it was 100.3. They're expecting that to pop up higher. I don't. I would be shocked. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Consumer confidence on Tuesday. Wednesday, the only thing happening is Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic is speaking in the evening. Thursday, then, big day Thursday. Initial jobless claims last week, 232. They're expecting that to be flat at 234. And then we have the advanced U.S. trade balance in goods last month, 96.6 billion, and no guess. So many no guesses this week. What's going on? Advanced retail inventories coming in that morning. Last month, 0.7 up. Advanced wholesale inventories last month, 0.2% up. The impact of inventories is always one of those questionable ones for me. You don't know whether that's good for the good for business or bad for business, because it could go either way. The GDP, now sometimes the trends over a long time would tell you a lot. GDP second revision, they're thinking there'll be no change in the GDP on the second revision. Interesting. 2.8, they're thinking it stays at 2.8 for the second quarter. All right, then pending home sales that morning. Last month was up 4.8%. This month only expecting it to be up 1%. And last month I was shocked that pending home sales were up. And this month I would be for July. Yeah, I would think July might have even been negative. We'll see what happens there. Write it down. Let me know if I get it right. And then Raphael Bostic speaks again on Thursday. On Friday, that's the big one. Personal income. Last month was 0.2. They're up 0.2. They're expecting to be up 0.2 again. Yeah, maybe. All right, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Close. Personal spending. Last month was up 0.3. This time they're expecting personal spending to be up 0.5. Wow, where do they think people are going to continuing to get the money to keep their spending going up when their income isn't going up? PCE index headline was 0.1 last month, expecting it to be 0.2 this month. That would be in the wrong direction. PCE headline year over year, 2.5 last time, 2.5 expected this time. That would be right in line with what the Fed thinks it is. Core PCE, 0.2 last month, 0.2 suggested again this time. And core PCE year over year, 2.6 last time, expected to go up a tad to 2.7. That's the wrong direction, but I don't think it'll change any minds at the Fed if that's what it turns out to be. Then we've got the Chicago Business Barometer. This is another purchasing managers index. Last month, that was at 45.3, which I think was reasonably, it's not strong because it's got to be over 50 to be strong, but was a little better than usual. And now no guess again. Consumer sentiment last month was 67.8. They're expecting that to come in at the same 67.8. That would not be good for the consumer sentiment to still be so low. And this is also a final number on what has been projected previously at 67.8. All right, where are the markets on this Sunday night going into Monday morning? We, of course, look at the bonds first, and the bonds are down 2.9 basis points, almost 3 basis points at 3.778. That's interesting. And if we go into the rest of them, we've got the 2-year down more than that, down 3.4. So now we're down very close. We're at 11 basis points difference, closing that gap. And the 2-month, never mind, it's up. And I can't even talk about it anymore. All right, let's go on to the oil. Oil is up 55 in both the Texas Intermediate and Brent. 75.37 for Texas Intermediate, Brent at 79.54. Now, you may or may not know that Israel and the Hezbollah exchanged a lot of rockets back and forth, bombings, all kinds of activity overnight. Both of them said, okay, we're done now. Although Bibi said, no, that's not all. So we might expect some more proactive action on the part of Israel to keep them from doing this again. So that might be why oil is ticking up a little bit and is now kind of moving back, Brent almost to the 80 level again. Natural gas, in the meantime, down 0.3%, almost back down to $2 even, $2.01. Gold is doing pretty well right now. Gold is up another 360. Silver up 0.25 at 29,895, almost a 30. And copper, though, down, but just barely 0.06%. The dollar down against the yen, up against the euro every day. It's so the yen and the yen is obviously doing very poorly against. Anyway, it's that's too hard to think through. Against the dollar, the yen is down, the euro is up. I'm sorry. The dollar is doing well against the euro, not so well against the yen right this minute. Well, the Japanese yen is 0.57, but the euro is practically unchanged. All right, let's go on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing okay, not great today, but up 2.7. It was up more earlier. 64,327. That's getting it back though into the middle of that range where it was earlier. Okay, equities. The Dow down 13 or 0.03. The S&P down 2.75 or 0.05%. Barely changed. NASDAQ, same thing. Hardly changed. Down 9.00 or 0.05%. So not a lot of directionality on the equities right now, but nice to see those bonds continuing down. That would be evidence that the bond market is starting to become a believer that we're going to see the Fed cut rates. All right. So as mentioned, you know what to do. Hit the notify button so that you'll be notified of all the stuff coming up tomorrow. But in the meantime, let me tell you that earlier today, I did a unique, I guess, video that you might want to watch. If you're interested in leadership, if you're interested in how to pick a leader, if you had to hire a leader, how would you do that? Because right now we're all hiring a leader, right? Or maybe you want to be a better leader than you are right now. Or maybe you have a child that's showing leadership skills or wants to be a leader or is thinking they'd like to be in leadership positions in the future. And you'd like to know, what does it take? What do you have to do to be a great leader? Now, I've been writing about leadership, reading about leadership, leading for decades, maybe even centuries. So I know a little bit about leadership, and I've written about Elon Musk as maybe one of the great leaders of all time. And so let me know, take a look at that video. There is the card right there, and let me know what you thought about that one. All right, that's all I got for you right now. It's been great talking to you.